Scott Helman Biography. Scott Helman, born October 1, 1995, is a Canadian singer-songwriter from Toronto, Ontario. He released his debut EP, Augusta, on October 14, 2014 on Warner Music Canada. The video for Helman's debut single Bungalow was nominated for a Much Music Video Award at the 2015 Much Music Video Awards, where he performed the song live. His music has been described as landing somewhere between Vance Joy and Jeff Buckley. Born and raised in Toronto, Helman graduated in 2013 from Earl Haig Secondary School. He got his guitar for his 10th birthday, and by the time he was 14 he knew he wanted to be a professional musician. At 15 years old, he signed a development deal with Warner Music Canada, where he began writing sessions with writers such as Simon Wilcox and Thomas Toggs Salter. He then began putting his music up on YouTube on April 6, 2014. He attended Camp White Pine in Haliburton, Ontario, and Camp Manitou in McKellar, Ontario as a camper. Music career. Helman's debut EP, Augusta, was released in Canada on October 14, 2014. The album was named after the street he wrote most of the songs on and played his earliest shows. The song Bungalow is a collaboration between Helman and Simon Wilcox. The song was inspired by a stranger Helman saw on the street that led to a fictional love story that helped him get through the breakup that had led to Cry Cry Cry. Helman has opened Canadian shows for Tegan and Sara, Matthew Good, Shawn Mendes, Colin James. In the spring of 2015 he toured the U.S. opening for Walk Off the Earth. In the summer he is scheduled to perform at a number of music festivals, including the Calgary Stampede, Rock the Shores, Squamish Valley Music Festival, and Edgefest. Scott will join Walk Off the Earth for their fall European tour. About. It sometimes feels that in the cut-and-paste pop world we live in, the art of the song is lost in its world of synthesizers and auto-tune production tricks. But, thankfully, there are a few young artists out there whose goal it is to come to the table with something to say and create a unique voice for themselves. Rather than allowing radio formats and flavor of the month styles dictate who Scott Helman is, it is his deft pen and soulful voice that defines his sound. Born and raised in Toronto, Scott's parents filled the house with music, but it was a steady diet of 80s pop that didn't really connect with him. It wasn't until one rainy day at a friend's cottage that Scott had the musical epiphany that set him on his way. "I'd heard a lot of music already, but I'd never listened to The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd," says Scott, reminiscing about that seminal moment. "We stole a couple cigarettes from his mom and found the album in his dad's vinyl collection. I remember just staring at the cover. From the moment it started we were speechless. I was amazed at how moved I was by the lyrics. I remember thinking, I want to spend the rest of my life trying to make something half as good as this." It was kind of a crazy moment. From that moment on, Scott became a sponge, going back and listening to everything that had only been referenced before: the Beatles, Dylan, Young, and on and on. He learned how to play guitar and he started writing songs, trying to find his own voice. For his birthday, a friend bought him some time in a studio to record a couple of demos. Terry Mosenberg, who was to become Scott's manager, arranged the studio time, loved what he heard, and encouraged Scott to write and record some more songs. Those demos led Scott to a performance in the offices at Warner Music Canada where, sitting on a stool with his guitar in his lap, he filled the room with a voice that stunned all that weren't there. Encouraged by Ron Lopata, Warner's VP of A&R, Scott went on a writing spree that produced a plethora of songs that began to define the sound that he could call his own. "When I would say I don't know, I'm not comfortable, or it's not me," says Scott, "Ron would say just trust me and do it, and you can tell me if you don't like it after. At first I would go home and think, I don't know about this, and then after a week, I'd go, this song rocks." I think the reason some people can find pop music boring is that they think that one song serves one purpose. Sometimes you want to kick people in the ass a little bit. A song like Cry 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 is about a relationship, but not everything is good, and the bridge reflects the other side, so there had to be distortion on that guitar. I think it's important to keep people interested and to keep the world of music an interesting thing.